Yo guys, I finished the first part of Learn OpenGL and I wanted to use my new skills to make something. I was thinking of something like Pong or Breakout, but eventually decided to make a Flappy Bird clone in C++ and OpenGL using no game engine. So before we can start drawing stuff, we need to first make a window. So that's exactly what I done. I started with a simple black window, then a blue window. Luckily this step wasn't too difficult because it's literally just a window. So now here's where the fun begins. I made a quad object to store and draw squares. It contains data like the position, size, and also the velocity vector, which I'll get into later. So when we run that, we get a nice chill square. An important thing about OpenGL is that we make everything from triangles. You may ask, why triangles? Because you can make any shape from them, even a circle. We send this data to the GPU using vertices, and as you can see on this square, we have 4 red circles. That means we would send 4 vertices for each square. Here's how we render our shapes. First, we make a vertex array. A vertex array is basically a list of all the vertex positions for our GPU to draw. After that, we copy our vertex array into the GPU and draw our triangles. And as you can see, when we run the code, we get the same chill square. The squares will be the basis and the structure for all of the pillars and the quads. Movement is very important in Flappy Bird. Here's a code snippet from my game file. So basically, here I initialize the pillars, and then here's my bird, and I use something called velocity vectors. Velocity vectors are an essential part of Flappy Bird. They control the movement and gravity of the bird. A velocity vector is basically like speed of direction. It may sound confusing at first, but let me explain. Think of velocity vectors as coordinates, since they are very similar structure. Let's say we had a velocity vector of 2, 5, which updated every second. That means every second, the object would move by 2 to the right and 5 up. To be honest, it felt confusing at first, but it became simpler after some time. When I run the program, you can see that the bird moves. However, collisions don't work yet. If you would like a more in-depth explanation, please like the video and leave a comment below. I'm just starting out now and all support and help is appreciated. Anyways, back to the video. Here's a fairly efficient algorithm for detecting collisions. Axis aligning bounding box. It basically checks if the 2 quads are intersecting or not. And if they are, then there is a collision. If they're not intersecting, then there is not a collision. Don't worry too much about it, because I found it pretty hard myself. Here's my collision detection function. It applies the algorithm to my shapes. So here, the first step is to calculate the position of the shape sides, and then the next step is to check if the shapes are intersecting or not. Let's see how it works. And after some trial and error, it finally worked. Also, a nice bonus is that I managed to clean up my file structure a bit. Before, I used to have all of my header files in one folder. So what I did is I split it into an engine folder and a game folder. You may ask, why do I have an engine folder? Wasn't I not supposed to use a game engine? And you're right. However, it isn't really a game engine. It's just a bunch of reusable files that I made myself. It also makes my game more modular. So what that basically means is that I can add more features quicker and more easily. After a few hours of extra work, I changed the background to a lighter blue and I added multiple moving pipes. Then I added a nicer ground and I made the bird look nicer, and I also fixed the gravity. And here's some lovely gameplay. Hi guys, thank you for watching this video. I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Drop a comment below on what you'd like to see next. And also, if you want to download my game, it's available for free on GitHub. I'll link it in the description below. In the meantime, see ya.